First, I want to thank God for giving me another opportunity by waking me up this morning to be a better man. And everything between that, I acknowledge and I praise him first. Amen.
Amen.
Good afternoon, and thank you for attending this fruitful day event. Thank you to the Mosaic Templar Cultural Center again for bringing us here to fellowship, have fun, and learn on this historic block of 9th Street. I would like to give a round of applause to Miss Key, Miss Crystal, Miss Brown, Miss Pam, and also Mr. Miguel. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, this day serves as a day of reflection and appreciation for the American experience, but in particular for the African American experience. Initially celebrated under shock by those that heard this information on June 19th, 1865, and then again it was officially first celebrated a year later in 1866. This June 19th denotes the annual day celebration called Juneteenth. It's the oldest celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, and its name was given to the Emancipation Day, aka the Freedom Day as well. This was started by most African Americans south of the Mason-Dixon line on June 19, 1865. Now this happened in Galveston, Texas. Union General Gordon Granger arrived in town and read the General Order Number 3 to the people of Galveston and also to the persons of color in Galveston. It stated, "The people of Texas are informed that, and in accordance with a proclamation by the Executive of the United States, that all slaves are free." Texas slaves were arguably the last group of slaves to be freed in what we call the United States during that time, consisting of about 36 states. The observance of Juneteenth as an African American Emancipation Day has spread across the United States and into different parts, north, south, east, and west. I found out via YouTube that they have celebrations going on in Chicago, also in East Palo Alto, California, and also Worcester, Massachusetts. Large organized celebrations began in 1866 and continue to this present day. So when you do the math on that, that's about 145 years continuous. Now keep in mind, this day may not be celebrated by all African Americans in this country, much less other Americans with other ethnicity backgrounds. But this day here, we also have to recognize that in Texas in 1865, there were 250,000 slaves were freed initially on that day. Most African Americans treat this day like the 4th of July, but before the 4th of July. So it's like we kind of got 2 freedom days in the year. But they're about 15 or 16 days apart when you do the math on it. But you don't want to confuse the two. There are different principles and different varieties behind freedom as it relates to the 4th of July and also with Juneteenth. Now let's take the time to educate, or to some of you all, let's de-educate you. Many Juneteenth events in this country are off the chain, but how many actually promote educating the idea of Juneteenth in that? Okay, so we definitely want to give credit for this block, the Mosaic Temple, and each one of you all here for actually giving credit and acknowledging the history behind Juneteenth. In the early days of Juneteenth, the celebration included a prayer service. It included speakers with inspirational words, some culinary displays, and readings of the Emancipation Proclamation. I have on me as a historian a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation if you would like to read it. God has allowed me and given me the grace to wear the shoes of an educator. So I'm going to start walking in these shoes, and this is a teachable moment, if you will. So to all my teachers, educators, pastors, to all my parents and all my students here, the Emancipation Proclamation, first described on the 22nd of September, 1862, was a preliminary draft, then finally a manuscript in December of that same year, and after that, finally on the 1st of January in 1863, by President Abraham Lincoln, it was considered official. To all educators, leaders, pastors, and parents, again, this document, here's the teachable moment, it did not free slaves, okay? And I repeat, it did not abolish slavery. Addressed by Abe Lincoln, it was called his edict. Lincoln's edict had good intentions to even some African Americans, It did release a few, a very minuscule number, but it did release about, arguably about 50,000. It did not, however, free all African Americans, Native Americans, or poor European American slaves. It did help change the mindset of American lawmakers as it relates to the eventual and total freedom of slaves, regardless of their color. Although the Emancipation Proclamation did not free or end slavery in this country, it did, and I repeat, it did capture the imagination of millions of Americans, fundamentally transforming the character of the Civil War. Of course, we know the Civil War was about slavery and states' rights. After it was scribed by Abraham Lincoln in 1863, federal troops expanded the domain of freedom. Moreover, this proclamation announced the acceptance of the African American men into the Union Army and, of course, the Navy, enabling the liberated to become liberators. Here's another teachable moment. The 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution was the legal document that officially abolished all physical forms of human slavery in America. It was passed by Congress and Senate on January 31st, 1865, but it was ratified in December of that same year. For all people in bondage, in particular African Americans, truth be told, these days could also be recognized as holidays, but they come too close to what? Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year's, and all the eves that come with that. As of 2007, 14 states recognized Juneteenth as the official state holiday. And Texas in 1979-1980 was the first state to do so. I emphasize to my Arkansas Baptist College students standing there in the back, do not take my word for it. Read and research this information that I'm providing for you to yourself, okay? I have documented proof, and if you want to respectfully request to see it, so be it. I have it right here. Now, in closing, I need everybody to partake in this. I need everyone to hold someone's hand. Hold the person's hand next to you. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. It's all right. Hold your hand. Okay. This celebration is inclusive to all heritages, to all cultures, all ancestries, all ethnicities, all nationalities, as nothing is more comforting than the hand of a friend or someone listening. In reality, Juneteenth serves as a reference point for which to measure the appreciation and the progress and contributions made by African Americans to this country. In the process of discovering truth and slaying myths, we must forgive each other. Now, to that person's hand that you're holding, say, Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
And I forgive you.
I forgive you.
Now, we don't have to hold hands anymore. You can let that person's hand go, but we don't want you to let go of these memories and this history that we're feeding you with. This is a good recipe. This recipe, and we call the fabric of Americana here at Juneteenth. God bless you and thank you.